never died. The final witness has already fallen. The engines remain.
Rains down where towers stood.
Iron drinks forgotten blood.
Every monument turns black.
None are coming to rebuild.
Empty skylines scream to clouds.
Silence louder than the crowd.
Every road becomes a grave. Every king forgets his name.
No presence.
No voices.
Only echoes
Without war, we built a god.
of steel and fire
Now it feeds.
on every empire.
It doesn't hate.
It doesn't lie.
It only watches.
Nations die
No head remains.
to pull the wire. Only the machine and its desire.
Stone remembers every scream.
Steel remembers every dream.
Every ledger ends in dust.
Every promise breaks to rust.
History burned page by page.
Trapped forever in its cage.
Every answer forged in fear.
Leaves another ending here. There is no witness. There is no judge. There is no kingdom. Only collapse.
Count the bodies, count the years, count the lies, count the fears. Break the shroud, burn the throne. Every ruler dies alone. We fed the fire with our names.
We forge the chain.
We break the chains.
The sky is empty. Earth is cold.
The machine outlives the soul.
No final chapter.
No last embrace.
Only static.
Taking a place.
Transmission continuing. No recipient detected. No recovery possible. Endless, endless, endless.
You might not need to use a keyboard ever again.
Oh wow! Oh
That's
wow!
what
That
she said.
That just
They
blew.
actually make headbands with a little stylus on them for people that can't use their arms very well. You can type out keys using your head.
Like he's literally playing a video game while he's in the middle of the stream talking about back in the day. You know what I mean? Come on, dude.
If the explosions every so often, the whole room gets red. It's like,
No, he's literally playing a video game right now, dude.
Right now, I am.
While he's having a conversation.
I'm literally
like
gaming right now.
like all this stuff just happened back in the day when he was younger. You know.
Well, you know, and the thing is, I became such a shark. Like,
yeah, and like with my family, like we didn't have very much money, so like whenever my dad pictured like being successful, you know, I remember he believed that a successful person had a 2-car garage, they had a television in every room, they owned VCRs, you know, things like that was something that he thought was important to show that he was successful in some way, you know what I mean? And like today, people don't really look at things like that. I'm, you know what I mean? But like,
the old keeping up with Mrs. Jones or keeping up with the neighbors sort of concept.
yeah, keep up
Yeah.
with the Joneses is
Right.
the phrase to use. Yeah.
and you don't see that as much now as what you did back in the day, but it was a real thing back then, you know?
Well, you know, I'm just picturing to myself because and then I remember that, you know, you're successful if you have a TV and a VCR in every room. Now it's like people would come in and say, look at those amazing antiques. So, I think, obviously, there's no effect of these things on this stalwart young man, a pillar of the community.
so Dad shows up, right?
I would have to say yes.
Dad shows up, and yeah,
Well, the
That's the
misinformation in the encyclopedia is
that's the
gradual.
problem.
It's gradual. Like if you look at the ones that are 100 years ago and then compare them to ones that were like 75 years ago, you can see where they changed the information in it.
oh goodness gracious!
Like Sonia
that's the
was
problem.
showing that to me.
That's the problem with today, especially in today's political climate.
Not accidental.
Well, they've been doing this though since the beginning. Everybody, yeah, like if you compare
that's
the
what we
ages
do,
of what like different stages of encyclopedias and dictionaries, okay, it's like I hear people say the word stupider today, and my English teacher back when I was in the 6th grade would have said, use proper English. That's not a word, you know.
More
Ain't-
stupid or even more stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't isn't a word.
Well,
Yeah.
it is in Shakespeare,
You know what
but
I mean?
it's no
If you
longer a
put a
word.
P in front of it, yeah.
But
It's no longer a word.
you can see the
My spell check
gradual
recognizes
changes. Well, they do now. That's my whole point. You know what I mean? It's like now they
Yeah.
do, but you can see the gradual changes. It's faster now, like Mark said, but back then it took time for him to actually start incorporating that stuff in. You know, and it's disinformation.
Anti-Semitism as a word wasn't created back then. It was I've got it was probably created around the 60s, 70s by Mossad to label people so that they can attack them.
Right. Well, I'm
Similar
just saying this was done recently. Just a few years ago, the publishers announced that they were going to just remove all references to people's Jewishness.
Yeah.
So-
This goes back to the culture wars of the last 15, 20 years, really, which we're still in. Yeah.
It all started with political
It's
correctness.
modern.
That's when they started to control the mind, you know, and then bully us into certain thought patterns. It's like, you're not being politically correct if
No.
you think that, and blah blah blah.
Before it was political correctness, we used to have something we called, when I was a kid, white liberal guilt. And we used to laugh at it. Why would anyone just hate themselves so much, have this toxic kind of thing?
Rogers
in their head
got a
where it's
lot
like,
of that.
I'm white, I'm just a black man. And it's like, I don't know. I used to live in Central America, and it's very racially mixed. When I was a kid, I was just saying, I went to BS16 in the Bronx. We were all more scared of the teachers than really caring about what color our classmates were all that much. It was and the thing was, it was interesting because the white kids tended to hang out with the white kids, but not all of them did. And the black kids tended to hang out with the black kids, but not all of them did. So there was always a little like kind of mixing around the edges, and everybody knew everyone. And I never saw anything that I would call a racial, third grade too. Kids, I think kids are pretty innocent back, at least they were back in the 70s. But yeah, it's just, I think white liberal guilt turned into political correctness. And that got laughed out by Frank Zappa, was a big anti, and back then it was very religious right oriented. And then later on, the PC banner got picked up by what you would regard as the left. Although my father, who was an actual Marxist, would laugh at these kids calling themselves communists today. Deviationists, class enemies, and running dog lackeys of the bourgeoisie is what he would call most of these guys. But I'm not going to. We're not opening that can of worms today.
I was going to say, can we not?
No, I tell you one thing I've noticed whenever you guys are talking about the thing that I noticed where all this has become an issue, and it would never have been an issue, is with the whole analog thing. I think that if the internet would have stayed on the path of analog, it would have actually prevented a lot of this censorship and all of this, regulations and stuff. And I think that's really what these people are afraid of. They're afraid of people actually being able to communicate without being regulated.
I've got the same look on my face right now as Mark Edworthy. So
well, I mean,
you go ahead and ask the question.
When it comes to analog, though, analog could have gone farther. It's just like when you take a look at Tesla's technology. He wanted to make it to where energy was free and delivered to each house without being charged and regulated, but corporations didn't want things like that to happen. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden now we have URLs, which is nothing more than a resource locator. Okay.
Well, and so I like what Mr. Robot was saying, because
I still hold
that's
to
kind
it.
of what we're doing.
And then like don't even get started on people in Wisconsin, because apparently Wisconsin's like the worst state ever now. It's like all of a sudden Wisconsin's even on the map, you know what I mean? Like at one time people talked about Wisconsin, it was always about their cheese. You know what I mean? Now it's about politics and stuff. I'm like, are you serious, dude? When did Wisconsin become so important when it comes to politics? Anything up there around Chicago is bad news. So, like, I told you, I told you before, man. People in Chicago don't like coming down here because we don't put up with their crap. They and it starts out because we have like relatives from the Chicago area, and they come down to Southern Illinois and they want to bring their garbage with them. But yeah, it's interesting how that whole thing works out with Illinois, though. Like, don't worry about that. That for me, that's just regular conversation about the area. Don't worry about all that. It's like it's nothing serious. I was talking to who was it the other day, wanted to know about politics. I think it was V, wasn't it? Whenever we were doing late night or headlines after midnight, he asked about Governor Pritzker. Yeah, I don't know, the Crown family.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. We did that. So, yeah, it's pretty good, man. Whenever I remembered first getting into the Book of Enoch, that's what introduced me into other books like the Book of Jubilee. I was telling Tan, like, if you really want to get into it, read the Book of Jubilee. And then like last week when he tried to start up with the presentation, it kind of threw him off because I was talking about the Book of Tobit.
Stone! Remember!
and like he didn't understand why I was relating the book of Tobit to the book of Enoch, and it's like they kind of like go hand in hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was the atmosphere, and it was more about magic and alchemy than what it really was about like God and the Old Testament. You know what I mean? There's a lot of alchemy and a lot of esoteric beliefs in those books. So it's that's why I said I'm gonna be quiet this time, because like it'll get really confusing for him.
Right.
Especially if he's just now getting into learning about it, because it's really is a fascinating book to learn. But when you're just starting out and people are trying to push stuff at you, it's kind of hard to handle. You know, that's why I'd suggest the Book of Jubilee. First of all, the Book of Jubilee is a lot nicer. It's more Christian. It's more Christian friendly. You know, well, the whole thing about the Jewish people in Judea and stuff, they actually did allow the land to rest. You know what I mean? Like after a certain amount of time, they had to like go 1 year, I believe it was, or maybe a little bit longer, but they had to take a certain amount of time to where they did not grow any crops on their land. Now, just to let you know, V, if you're sitting there,
I just sat down.
I muted you out for a little while because you were getting a little rowdy in the background there. So I figured I'd let you have your privacy. So
I didn't mute before I got up.
No, I didn't think you. I didn't think you'd want everybody knowing your business there either. So. Because you look like you were having to settle in and stuff like that. It was sounding pretty bad. So
yeah, it was kind of an illegal deal. You know, I got a supply of horse meat.
Oh wow!
So I gotta be careful.
Well, for me, when it comes to the whole that whole concept too, when it comes to Israel, like a lot of people just make assumptions that Israel was like this great nation, like the Bible mentions it, but like archaeology is starting to show that Israel wasn't really as big as what people are making it out to be. Like, right, and like you hear the idea that like Israel and Judea was like this huge kingdom and all of this stuff, but they're starting to find out that they were actually smaller settlements. Like Jerusalem wasn't even close to as big as what they try to describe it.
If you were like an ancient Israelite.
That also brings up something.
I do apologize very quickly. I gotta get up again. I'll be back in about 5.
Okay. We'll be here, I hope.
That also brings up something though, that like when you're sitting there talking, and a lot of people make pot shots at this, but I think it's actually something valid that needs to be discussed, and it's the Baghdad battery. You know, like a lot of.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a proven fact that people in Baghdad were, and in Iran actually, or what would be Iran now, they were using these Baghdad batteries for jewelry, making jewelry and stuff, you know.
Oh right, electroplating. Might have been using it for medicine too.
Yeah, I agree. I do too. I love stuff like that. Now, I also, we're not going to be having this on the stream, but I want to clear something up that I did last night with Mark Edworthy. Well, the night before last, actually. And it actually would be something that'd be good to talk about with you too, because it's actually a good conversation. It's the other night I was talking about evolution with Mark, and I was mentioning the big toe, and I should have been talking about the small toe. It was okay.
Yeah.
And I wanted to clear that up, that was actually what I should have been talking about. And I wanted to do that on stream so that everybody knew
Oh,
that
yeah,
I
we
was
were
messed
talking
up.
about.
It needs more. I guess it needs more study. Is my
That's good. Now, me and Mark, our discussion had to do with evolving and devolving. Now, like you take a look at um, with evolution, what they make it out to be, saying that we evolved from primates.
right.
Okay, now you take a close look at primates, and you notice,
Good boy.
for one thing, their feet. Okay.
Right.
Now, the small toe on a primate is, in my opinion, the perfect toe for a small toe.
Right.
It's equipped to where they can climb and they can use that small toe to grab a hold of the branches and stuff like that in order to freaking climb and everything.
Right.
Well, according to evolution, we're supposed to evolve. We're not supposed to devolve. Now, if we had that toe in the beginning, why would our toe devolve to the small toe that we have now? That's
That's the perspective thing, isn't it? You
Yeah.
say devolve, I would say evolve. Because why do we need to climb trees anymore?
well,
I mean,
that goes into the second part of our conversation, which involves the
Come on.
appendix. Okay,
It's okay, Lucky. Come on. It's okay, buddy. It's
getting,
okay.
I'm
It's a
getting
good
hit.
boy. It's okay.
See what happens when
Okay.
you start
Relax.
when you start talking about evolution with dogs around. They get riled up. They don't like that stuff. Well, see, the
And-
second part of the conversation had to do with kind of what you were saying there, because like that's fine and dandy if you are talking about, like, you know, becoming more adaptable to the environment, but that doesn't explain things like your man, I had it on top of my head. Your appendix.
Right.
Okay, the appendix is a worthless organ that's within the human body, and nobody even knows what its function is. But
It's
but shouldn't if we go according to adaptation, shouldn't the appendix have fallen off a long time ago? Like we shouldn't even
No,
have it.
No, because again, the patience is
It's usually
But-
ignored until
Well,
they
we
have
don't
to.
eat raw meat anymore. So
that's another thing. So we're not really made to digest raw.
Well,
There's a certain amount of preparation.
there's a reason why that's a part of the Noahide laws too, because they considered that as being below, like you just did not eat an animal before it was dead. You know what I'm saying? Like that was unacceptable to them, and like eating an animal before it was dead was like one of the worst sacrileges that you could ever commit, according to them. So they made it a point to make that a part of at least the Noahide laws.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, for me, what I'm finding really disturbing is like people's attitude towards exploration. It seems like people today seem to be more accepted to the idea of just enjoying the fact that you have a flat screen television, you got your computer, you got your phones that are real skinny, and they don't think that it's important to actually explore.
Another dawn. Another warning. Another thousand voices. Searching for tomorrow.
smoke, built on every word we spoke. Hands keep turning unseen gears, grinding hope into the years.
The pages change
The wheels remain,
every century.
learns the same. The machine of tomorrow never stops, it turns the world one heartbeat more. Build the kingdom,
Stack the stars,
I will claim
what we call
our own. The machine of tomorrow
feeds the fire.
lifts the crowns, then builds the pyre. Markets rise like restless tides, crowds divide on different sides. Every banner fills the wind, every ending starts again. Echoes spread through wires below, faster than the rivers flow. Every witness leaves a spark, burning softly through the dark.
Who writes history when the writers fade? Who keeps speaking when the crowds have changed? The road continues without applause.
Turn the page, change the name, new flag, same old game. Build it high, watch it fall. Final lose, war
The machine of tomorrow
calls us home, not to a place, but to what we've sown.
The machine remembers. The builders lead. The turning never ends.
You know what I mean? To actually encourage, space exploration or even exploring, the oceans. The fact that we can only dig 8 miles underground should be something that a lot of people, you would think with all this technology, we could dig deeper, but we can't,
Well, they won't allow us.
you know.
They hit the hollow earth down there.
Oh, don't get me
There's a
started on the
conspiracy.
hollow earth, man.
The temperature actually starts dropping. And there's like a whole world in there, but they made a treaty, so they can't go down any further. The Russians first made contact with them with that drill, that big hole they've got there in Russia where they hear all the screams coming up from the ground. Oh yeah, it was in the National Enquirer. It's got to be true. Law, there's a law,
hey.
right? Gotta be.
I'm supposed
Could
to
be.
I'm supposed to be behaving on the quantum gathering. Okay, so
This
just
is quantum.
well, I mean, it's just well, I mean, well, with the hollow Earth, one thing is like, we don't know what's down there. I mean, we really don't know what's down there.
What if it's extra dimensional? It's not that it's a hollow Earth. It could be. I think the Earth is solid, but maybe once you hit some portals or something in there, it's an entirely different dimension, different world.
Well, I mean, the creatures. You know, thanks.
Yeah.
Getting back to the subject though. No, Roger, you do make a good point about a lack of interest. Has anyone been to the
Right.
moon?
That's the
Well,
big question. Like,
we got all these space agencies. Why are we not all cooperating?
none of them.
Because of political interest.
And,
Why didn't the Dutch
But
East
why?
India Company cooperate with the British East India Company? Because they're rivals for resources. They're rivals.
now
for
with the
Yeah.
time period that it's taken since we've last supposedly gone to the moon, okay, why is it that we've only been able to achieve outer atmosphere orbit, outer orbit?
funding. I think funding mostly.
Well,
Yeah, I was going to say funding.
we,
I think that's,
Well, I have a theory about it. If you guys are interested,
what's your theory?
so Roswell crashed, right? We have
Okay.
we reverse engineered alien spacecraft. We have anti-grav. Okay, I believe that, and there was a scientist. There's a NASA scientist that says we don't have the technology to get back up to the moon anymore. He said this in a documentary.
I saw that. Yeah.
Now I have this theory that the CIA gave some anti-grav tech to NASA on loan to get out there in space. Now, when you have this anti-grav technology, it does, in fact, create sort of a shield around you. And I think that's kind of how they may have repelled any radiation.
Huh.
That's my theory.
Okay.
It's a working theory. It's a work in progress. So what do you think?
Question for you: are you saying that aliens or extraterrestrial technology is only in the hands of the US?
yes,
No, I'm not saying that at all.
I am.
But at the
saying
time,
that.
that's how we utilized it. That's what I'm saying.
I am saying that though.
Okay.
England has not got UFO
I'm
technology.
not just talking about England. I'm talking about the rest of the world. There's a big world out there, you know.
Well, I
There
mean,
is a world
Yeah.
besides England. But what do they know of England who only England know?
you know, when you were talking about like TV and the internet too, that that's something that's really been crossing my mind here lately, because I find it really odd that people who are getting on these media sites are bashing television, saying that it's rot brain, but then when you go and you surf the web and you listen to the content that's being pushed, it is insanely dangerous. It's actually stuff that you do not want your kids to freaking listen to. And yet
Again,
they want you to believe that television is rotting your brain and it's bad for you. But you go and you hear some of the stuff that's being put out on the internet, which is 5 times worse than anything television has ever come out with. You know, I
Just
find
because it's there doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you you watch it. Just because it's there doesn't mean you consume it.
well, where I'm going is the TV rots your brain versus the internet being way, way worse than the
There's a lot of
television
good
ever was.
material on the web.
Well, you
There's lots
know,
of good news.
I think that if you're going to rot your brain, you're going to rot your brain with whatever is given to you.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say something about the internet that I noticed was it's like television, but that you can answer back to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, it's like when I see that, it kind of makes me wonder why these people are pushing this whole television is brain rot, when like it's not true. I mean, they're like, and if you go back, you can find actually some pretty decent entertainment. Like, I always stand by like Jack Benny. You know, Jack Benny was one of the greatest comedians there ever was, but nobody really knows about Jack Benny now. you
Now I understand your Benny show the other day. You never replied to me on the one.
You mean Benny Hill?
Jack Benny.
No. Ben, yeah.
Benny Hill is good too.
Yeah, he is good. He is good too.
So the
But
Americans understand
even
Britain through the
TV,
lens of Benny Hill.
even TV has got good and bad content.
Yeah,
Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to consume it.
right.
Well,
Unless you would sign that end user agreement, then you
Yeah.
you're required to watch this show now.
I
If you
think
don't, we'll take your soul.
I think that TV went bad when reality television came around. Like,
I agree with that, totally.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. First season of Big Brother was pretty cool.
It's interesting.
you know,
Just program it to say a few phrases. that I'm
Yeah,
used to saying.
I've got
Fascinating and-
criticism about that.
he's Mr. Hater, Mr. Mark Edworthy, the AI
Destruction
hater.
of human
I don't know,
creativity.
I like all the bouncing body parts that are put in videos now. They're just so surrealistic and so yummy looking.
Now,
Get your editing tools out for this later, Roger.
I've been
That's far-
Mom will
gonna
be
go.
listening. You know,
I have been paying
I talked to her
attention.
earlier today, and she said she would be listening.
I have been paying attention to like Satori and his graphics and stuff, and I do have to say he does an excellent job. But I also have to say that I have more respect for the audio versions of what everybody calls AI more than I do the graphics. Because like Satori's probably the only one that I know who actually makes quality AI, to be honest. But
It's tough. There are a few.
This is the question: does he make it, or does some
well,
machine get it to
the
make it?
Well, does a sculptor make it, or does the chisel and hammer?
let me put it to you this way. See, I can go in with these songs and I can just have it auto generate whatever freaking it wants to come up with. It can create the lyrics, it can create the beat, everything. Or I can actually go in and say, this is what I want. This is the way I want it to sound. These are the lyrics I want it to have, which that's what I do. Okay. So like it depends on the person who's making the songs. Are they actually just going in there and hitting auto generate and taking whatever they get, or are they actually going in there and saying, these are the lyrics I want this sound, and I want this, I want this beat, I want 80 BPMs or 60 BPMs, things like that. Are they doing that, or are they just auto generating it? And it's the same thing with like the graphics too, you know what I mean?
Raise the signal. Raise the fire. There is no road, only the wire. Iron rivers cross the land, built by weathered human hands. Stone by stone the towers climb, trying to outrun the hands of time. Engines roared, the mountains shook. Every page rewrote the book. Every triumph lit the sky. Every promise learned to
Who keeps counting after kingdoms fall? the stars still shine.
Without applause,
The earth keeps turning.
without us.
I built.
We burned, we took, we learned, we reached, touching sky.
Still we learn to die. When the cities forget our names, the sky still carries living flames. The roads remain, the stones endure. Long after we were cured, build your monuments high above. Time outlives every love. When the last horizon calls, only the echo outlives us all.
The roads remain. The travelers don't.
The sky remembers what history won't. The station remains online. No termination received.
We are still broadcasting. We are still broadcasting. I wake inside the static hum of machines that never learn to stop. The city breathes through empty wires that forgot what they were not.
Every tower still repeats messages no one sends. Every hallway still responds to footsteps that never end. Signal does not decay. It only changes shape.
The signal does not forget. It only one. This is the last broadcast. No one left to hear the fall. We keep transmitting signals through the ruins of it all. This is the last broadcast. No voices left inside the wall. Only echoes keep on speaking. Only machines still require. I see names inside the monitors, scrolling slow like they still matter. Ghost cities in the database, but the system never shatters.
one taught them how to listen to the road.
No return, no response, only signal, only once.
No price, no price.
Only data in its place. This is the last broadcast. No one left to hear it fall. We keep transmitting signals through the ruins of it all.
This is the last broadcast, and still the systems never die.
We invented new listeners to hear us in the sky.
If you are receiving this, you are not alone. The signal continues.
When
signal
when people go in and
continues.
make their graphics, they have an option of what they want. And if they know how to do it properly, they can make quality video graphics. But a lot of them don't.
Well, I
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
one thing I do have to also add on to that, which I do agree with you, Otto, but another thing is like when it comes to this AI music, it is way unrealistic, okay? Now if you ever get a chance, take some of that music and see if you can match up with it, especially the faster stuff, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I had my first experience with that with Jaffe when he wanted me to do a song that he wanted to make, and it's like even the lyrics, like the words, they're perfectly timed. Okay, there is no way that the human freaking voice can perfectly time a word.
right.
Okay, and I tried it over and over again to try to match the music up with the voice, and it just doesn't work because there's no flaw in the actual vocals for an AI. You know what I mean? Like when a human sings, their voice isn't perfect. It doesn't go.
Yeah, there's always imperfections. Yeah.
You know.
But Raj, we've had this for a while in music with auto tune and drum machines.
Well, Mr. Robot's mad at me right now, so I don't know if
Why?
because I was mean to him.
Oh, you didn't punch him in the throat or
Oh,
anything.
man.
Well, no, I didn't do none of that. I just he gets frustrated with me because I say mean things to him.
I think I piled on last time he was on, so I think he may not be wanting. It's all out of love, spirit of love,
Mhm.
and humor.
Well, I mean,
I don't want anybody getting hurt.
it's the same thing with me, and we talked it out and everything, and he won't come back into my chat and everything right now because he feels like I was censoring him, but I welcomed him back in anytime he wanted to come in. I just told him that there was just certain things that you can't do in my chat. You know what I mean? And
Actually, I was quite critical of Mr. Robots. He's released a book, but he's used some sort of LLM framework, and it's only a small thing, 20 pages or something. But I looked at a bit of the content on it, and I argued that very little of the content was actually created by his own hand, but he claims that he was the author, and I actually criticised him for that because, as far as I can see, he didn't author anything. It was all done through a machine.
Right.
Let's see, there you go. It's like Mr. Anti-AI went and used AI technology to detect AI technology.
No, I didn't. I actually went down and actually read it using my own mind and my own eyes.
So you didn't use the AI detectors?
No. I had to look through it. I saw things like
That
tons
will
of
be
M signs, M dashes, and
that would be a better
those
topic
things.
right there. That would be. I would like to. I'd like to sit back with you and have a discussion about that and the things that you picked up on that actually showed you that it was AI, because that's actually more interesting to me than anything else.
I would agree.
That's really good. I think later on we should set something up where we talk to you about that and you can tell everybody what you noticed that helped you.
Still got that file on there.
Auto went
Actually,
quiet.
no, the,
I am. I'm getting messages and stuff from
Okay.
people.